Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Gunna. Now, it's no secret that Gunna was a part of the YSL RICO indictment until he had an opportunity to give himself an out of the situation, and people have been, confused about the response in hip hop. Now, most people in hip hop have said, Gunna did the right thing for himself in his music career. But there's always that street element to hip hop and rap, right? Especially if you talk that in your raps. And looking at the charges that Gunna was facing, a lot of people think he took the easy way out. Some even going as far to say that Gunna is a rat and that Gunna is a snitch. Now, when Gunna and Young Thug got wrapped up in this RICO, it seemed like a fight they were both gonna have to take on together as a team, as YSL. But slowly but surely, different people started getting deals, Gunna being one of the first people to get a deal. To some, it looks like they left Young Thug out there, to the wolves, or in this battle on his own. And Gunna is back to making music probably. But his reception from his fellow artists, or the rappers who are out there, seems to not be a warm one, man. It seems like a lot of people in the rap game are turning their back on Gunna. And two people he's collaborated with several times, I'm talking about drop mixtapes with, drop joint projects with, drop numerous songs with, seem to be going that way. And I'm talking about two of the biggest stars in the game, Lil Durk and Lil Baby. Now, before we get to the specifics and talk about what went down on social media, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Now, when Gunna got locked up, everybody was rooting for him, hoping him and YSL made it out of this situation, and we're rooting for Young Thug as well, right? Well, since Gunna has been released, signed his Alfred plea deal, and essentially removed himself from the situation, he's come back on social media, and it seems like members of YSL, Lil Gotti being one of the main people, have come back to say that they're not welcoming Gunna back. They feel like he turned his back on Young Thug, the person who gave him his career, the person who put him in the music game, the reason why he has those back-to-back #1 albums, besides the work that he put in, right? Well, it seems like Lil Gotti and certain members of YSL aren't the only ones who shared these feelings about Gunna turning his back on Young Thug and calling him a rat. Now, some people seem to be doing it in a sneaky type way. And we're gonna assume some things here, because Lil Durk took to social media and he posted himself rapping a brand new song, some new heat that he's gonna be dropping probably pretty soon, right? And in the song, there's a line where he talked about their song, What Happened to Virgil, which was an ode to a fashion designer who lost his life recently, right? Now, in the song, one of the lines is What Happened to Virgil. It's a part of the hook. But in this new freestyle, or in this new music that Lil Durk released, he says what happened to Virgil, he probably gonna tell. Now, this is leading fans to believe that Lil Durk was taking an indirect shot at Gunna, but actually putting it out there how he feels about the situation. Now, this wouldn't be odd for Lil Durk to take a strong stance against snitching, something that he professes that he's against in his music, because there's reports out there that when some paperwork came out that insinuated that Spot'em Gotti had told on somebody, that he immediately sent Spot'em Gotti back money for a feature. And I think it was the number went up to like $100,000, it was rumored, that he said, forget it, if he's a snitch, I can't work with him. Now, this would seem odd to people who aren't in the hip hop, or in the rap genre, or even in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's business, and $100,000 means a lot. But hip hop does still have this street element to it, It's a part of the appeal of the rap game and some of the rappers. And I think this is where it gets misconstrued. I think when it comes to the whole snitching thing, people don't care as much as they profess to, I think it's the whole hypocrisy thing. It's people saying that you're not gonna snitch, or telling people in your records that you're gonna hold it down, you'll never tell on the gang, but then the fans find out that maybe you did do that in your past, or they also find out that when the things get hot, like with Gunna's situation, you do what you profess that you wouldn't. Now, I'm not calling Gunna a snitch. I'm not a street dude, I don't have the right to do that, right? But for a lot of people who carry that mantra of being a street dude, or people who profess to, believe in those street rules or whatnot, snitching is one of the worst things you could do, you know what I mean? So they have a whole line that can't be crossed there. And it seems like Lil Durk might be one of those people. That doesn't mean that Lil Durk saying that line in this new upcoming song means that he's against Gunna or he has anything against Gunna. It might just be a catchy thing to say at the time to draw attention, and it might be a little bit of marketing there. You see what I'm saying? But another thing that took place, and you can check this yourself, maybe it might change in a couple of hours when cooler heads prevail, but it seems like Lil Baby is taking the same stance as Lil Durk. And this would be an even bigger blow because Lil Baby and Gunna have a hit mixtape together, man. A mixtape that was one of my favorite. I'm gonna tell you, man, it's one of my favorite joint projects with Lil Baby and Gunna. And it seems like Lil Baby has unfollowed Gunna on social media, which is a big deal in today's age. Who you follow on social media, who's following you, who you're dual friends with, it gets monitored by a lot of people. And it's starting to circulate on social media that Lil Baby has unfollowed Gunna, which means there might be some sort of situation there where their relationship is splintered, and a lot of people are pointing to the fact that Gunna is being labeled a rat and a snitch in the hip-hop community. Now, there's some people who have come out to say that Gunna, they agree with what Gunna did, like Charleston White and other people. So it's a weird place that the fans are in, and most are just gonna keep listening to the music regardless. Let's keep it real, man. Do I think that anything is gonna happen to Gunna? I doubt it, man. But do I think that he might lose some fans because of this? It's a possibility, man. And it's a possibility he might gain some as well. So we don't know how this is gonna play out. But it looks like, as far as the hip hop community is concerned, they're still standing on those original rules of the street. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but it seems to be unanimous across the board if you want to believe the rumors that are out there. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna look at this and say this is foolishness. Like, Gunna obviously did the best thing for him in his music career. And if you were sitting in a jail cell for like 7-8 months and they gave you an opportunity to go home to your mansion and go home to your lavish life and not have to fight through a RICO sitting in a jail cell, you'd probably take it too. You know what I mean? Most people probably would have folded in that situation. But there's some that aren't. And a lot of rappers profess to not be the type of person that would fold. So does that make this a good or a bad thing for Gunna? I don't know. We'll only be able to tell when he drops his next project and see how many features he gets. See how many people want to collaborate with him. See if all the alliances he has built over all these years of success after success in the hip hop game. I mean, Gunna had an amazing run so far as a young artist in the rap game, man. But we will see if, after this, if things have changed. But I want to know what y'all are thinking, man. Is this nothing? Is Lil Baby unfollowing Gunna on social media really that big of a deal? Or because we're in this social media age, this is a huge deal and Gunna should be worried because that means that some people might be turning their backs on him in the hip hop game? Or what about the Lil Durk line? If you haven't seen it, it's starting to trend on social media. It'll be easy to find. Do you think that Lil Durk is throwing a jab at Gunna, or do you feel like it just might be taken out of context and maybe even just a little bit of marketing while the topic is hot? Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.